No one ever saw themselves as the bad guy. I found that saying from a CIA officer very interesting. So the people we study now as cautionary tales mostly believe they were the reasonable ones and the patriots and the reformers and the people just trying to follow the science, doing what's best for the people in the country. But history makes it uncomfortably clear that we can't just start flattening history and look at them in a vacuum. We have to take in the full context. I'm going to, for example, intentionally oversimplify very five complex, emotionally evoking things. The first one is the same rural counties that are now the reddest in America were once the heartland of the Socialist Party. But in 1939, in liberal New York, they packed the house with 20,000 people for a Nazi rally billed as pro American, where George Washington was flanked by swastikas. In 1920, Berlin was arguably one of the most liberal cities on earth with the global capital of science, art, and tolerance. And the same country ended up becoming Nazi Germany within a decade, and it was the same people of Berlin that became the Nazis. Experts were not immune to this either. In 1927, the U.S. Supreme Court voted 8-1 to let states forcibly sterilize unfit people, a cause that was funded by Carnegie and Rockefeller and praised by reformers across the spectrum. A test case was Carrie Buck, who was a poor woman that was institutionalized after being raped. She was branded as feeble-minded on a junk science charge that the state could prove its law. And Justice Holmes wrote, 3 generations of imbeciles is enough. And so they were certain by sterilizing this woman that they were making a better world from it. What ended up happening is after Carrie gave birth to her one and only child, Vivian, that Vivian ended up making the honor roll. And it totally disproved the science. But the Nazis were able to cite this same ruling in America in their Nuremberg defense as why they ended up killing Jews. They were trying to make a better society. 40 years later, the sugar industry quietly paid Harvard scientists to pin the blame on fat instead of sugar for heart disease, steering how the nation ate for over half a century. And the simple answer was everybody that could be trusted had been bought. So here's why this matters now. We take in history and current events in these 30-second clips of people yelling over each other, and we try to sort the villains and the heroes, and there's no real understanding of the facts that the people in question are facing. It feels like clarity, but it's mostly just a dangerous lens because it quietly exempts us from actually doing the hard research. Obviously, it would have been on the right side if I had known that. Obviously, you'd see through that, but reality is shows that historically you probably wouldn't have been. So you don't find out, and history shows most products are people are a product of the moment. Reality is what hits you when you're proven wrong, and oftentimes it takes 15 years for reality to hit you because you need that much time to see the full scope. I say all this because people do some monstrous things in the name of righteousness. But the beautiful thing is that certainty can break over time, and that makes way for people and systems to course correct. That's the only reason why I'm even saying any of this is because these are things that we're continually course correcting. People can change, and there is hope for the future in humanity.